We can.
Everybody pull it up on your phone so you don't have to read.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We can wait a second though.
Yeah,
Since the stream just restarted.
Did you tweet about it?
Yeah.
This corner.
I'm really fucking worried about that rat.
For the rat or for yourself because of the rat?
Because of the rat.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm worried for
What
myself.
are you scared it's going to do to you?
They carried... Rats literally led to the biggest plague of all time. That's
Do you
a
think
good
it was
point.
passed by COVID?
No, Black Plague was like 100 million dead.
People didn't wash
So
their
what's the
hands
donation
back then.
at?
No.
We reached our next goal.
Or their rats?
It's an 82K.
Our rat hygiene has gotten so much
Rat
better.
standards are vastly improved in the 20th century.
True.
Think of it. They never used to run mazes for cheese or anything.
These are 5 gift subs karma.
The rat has given $10.
90 more to stay in the wall, you idiot.
There's a
Yeah.
tier 1 3-sop.
Yeah, somebody should make the rat.
Would you rather have a rat or a cockroach? Cockroach.
Oh, not even close.
No
Cockroach
way.
for sure.
Cockroach over a rat, not even close.
Absolutely. I fucking hate cockroaches. I'd take it over a rat all day.
You can ignore a cockroach. A rat can actively fuck up your property.
Oh, rats
Yep.
are cute. You can pet them.
Go pet that
Like,
rat right now.
I
man.
will once it takes the chicken tank.
You're gonna pet that
It's a
fucking thing?
piece
You
of
No.
wood.
are thinking of a mouse.
No, I know the
Mice are
difference between
cute.
a
Rats
mouse and
are
a
not.
rat.
How's that?
No. He's not talking either. That would help.
Hold on, Sean. Yeah. Well, none of these are working.
Big booty bitches.
There
booty
it is.
bitches.
I heard that. There we go.
There it is.
All right.
Big mommy milkers.
There we go. Okay. Hey, Sean.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm very good. Congrats on your massive stream.
Oh, I appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun so far.
How many asses have been seen on stream yet?
We're about to do our first set of asses right after the porn script. I had like explosive shits, so I had to keep postponing it because I didn't want to just
Nice.
like brown smudge it.
So yours will look like a Rorschach painting.
pretty much. Yeah. It's gonna be beautiful though. You're welcome to bid on it if you'd like.
The anal butterfly, got it.
Everyone
Thanks
ate
again,
Charlie's
TV.
ass in your house.
Okay. Do you have the script open, Sean?
I do. It's majestic.
All right. What role would you like to play?
Who do you think I'd fit?
I was thinking. So I want you to have a pretty sizable role here for episode 1. So our
Okay.
big hitters here are Mike Mitchell, and then
Okay.
let me double check. I think Zachariah Good Sensation has a decent chunk as well, but I want to double check real quick. So the title of the porno that we were making, which was a real professional porno, 6-figure budget, it's called The Fucking at Rock Hard Manor. I never really liked the name. I thought it was a little too aggressive. What do you think, Sean?
Didn't you come up with it?
Yeah,
No,
it's,
Jackson
it,
didn't do it.
it kind of feels like baby's first porn script, but I think that's fine.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. It just sounds too amateurish, you know? I
Yeah,
wanted
it sounds like something a Reddit mod would write.
I wanted something more subtle, something like a little more pretentious, I suppose. Like,
Right, you wanted like your own citizen cock or something.
yeah, diamonds are forever.
Yeah.
That's just a James Bond movie, but
Super spicy red.
yeah.
That's kind of a porno.
Super spicy.
Super spicy affair.
So all of this had to be put on the back burner because of coronavirus. The company that was producing it couldn't pay for it because of the lockdown. So they pay the actors and they couldn't use them, so they had to just put it on the back burner. So don't know if it'll ever get made, but we have this whole script here, which we're going to go through today.
Yeah, this will be a good pilot for it.
Yeah, this will be a nice a launch for it. But we're going to have to play multiple
Everyone
roles.
plays 2 characters.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you want to take that, Sean? Do you want Alessandra?
Sure, I'll be Vanos Gaming.
Okay, perfect. Colonel Victor Demeter, the elderly 60-year-old stout and stern colonel. He is a proud and composed man with white hair and a thick mustache. He does not often let emotion show through his character. He's not big in episode 1, but
Why don't you just take it?
Yeah, I'm just gonna take that one. He's kind of a throwaway since we're only doing episode 1. He was gonna be like a Yoda type, you know, like he starts off kind of small and innocent, and then becomes extremely powerful.
And he grows really tall as the
Let me
series
take
goes.
that one. You take a big roll.
Do you want Victor Demeter?
Take a big roll, yeah.
Okay. Holy shit, Train!
Wow.
Train just dropping a fat 5K.
God
Wow.
damn.
Train.
Such a
Huge
fucking
TV.
sweetheart.
Quick, does Train want to play Bonnie?
Thank you so much, Train.
Give me whoever. Listen, Hey,
Oh, you said I'm
wow,
Daniel.
this is
No,
good
it's
stuff.
Assume your role.
Zachariah's got some good lines.
Zachariah fucks in this one.
Yeah,
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 give him-
yeah,
give
give
him
him
Zach.
Yeah, let him be
It's
Zachariah.
so
Zach.
that works really well. You can be good sensation because you fuck Sean's character Vanos.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's the first sex scene. That was the hardest
So,
part, was getting the
I'm
sex
who,
scene.
Zachariah Good Sensation?
Yeah.
Oh, doctor, I like that. Wow.
hmm
It's always the hardest part of the porn, trying to get the actors to fuck.
We wrote the story and then couldn't find ways for them to fuck, so that was the hardest part. Okay. So I think we're all ready then.
Interior, mansion foyer. Dr. Zachariah Good Sensation is fingering a number of dials on an elaborate mechanical device, and it is purring in his hand, and a few lights are blinking, indicating it is indeed active. Ashley and Bonnie are both standing nearby, half listening and half gossiping amongst themselves while swiping and giggling at Ashley's smartphone. Alessandra is listening and watching the scientist with bated interest while holding a tray of hors d'oeuvres.
Do I just read or do I make stuff up?
No. Read this. I mean, you're welcome to improv some lines in here if you want. I don't want to extinguish the creative flame of Zachariah Good Sensation. If you want a method act, but yeah.
This is unlike anything you've ever seen before. I guarantee it. You don't understand. How could you? How could you, though? It's utterly ridiculous to think you could. I, myself, have been trapped in my lab for 3 years trying to understand it. Held hostage by my own hubris. Crafted from the finest polymers I could get my hands on thanks to Shock's financing. Ah, yes. Such a delicate balance of madness and genius.
Dr. Zachariah then looks up to see the girls aren't even listening anymore. He sighs a defeated, meek breath and then fixes his gaze back onto the device, holding it up higher to try to demand they look. His hands are shaking slightly.
You know, girls, if I had made even one miscalculation in the creation of this, I may have very well lost my life.
The girls look up immediately and roll their eyes, and then continue to go back to their phone to continue swiping and gossip. Alessandra, the maid, however, has a look of lust and is blushing.
Excellent work, Train. I could feel Zachariah being channeled through you like a vessel.
You turned her
I've
on
been
real
transported.
Woo!
Thank you.
good. Ooh, boy.
Oh, this is my scene.
Yep.
All right.
Is Vanessa?
Me.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect,
Andrew's
okay.
Vanessa.
I'll
Here, you
power
want me to
through it.
Or no, Charlie, narrate this one since he's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can take you in.
So are we doing character voices as well, like getting into the character, or just...
Hey, however
your
you want to
character.
handle the
I'm-
character.
All right,
I'm
all right,
too
all
monotone.
right.
It's your
for this,
canvas to
basically.
paint on, baby.
That's
Sure,
right.
sure. So yeah, Charlie, go ahead.
This is all Shock Rockhard's manor, and we are now inside the foyer still. Colonel Demeter is standing tall and looking firmly uncomfortable in a party setting. He's wearing formal wear and has his medals displayed across his breast. A middle-aged woman is standing next to him with a warm smile on her face and a flute of champagne nested in her hand. She's wearing a beautiful scarlet dress and adorned in jewels.
Daddy always told me stories about you and him, and the antics you used to get up to when serving. I don't think he'd really care to admit it, but I think he's happy you're back, and he's here for this. I think a lot of what tonight is about, and about those times.
The sooner the night comes to an end, the better. I must admit, I've never been one for these kinds of extravagant events. Your father was always the one best suited for that.
Oh, come on, Colonel. Surely you can find a pinch of fun here tonight. Let's see. Tell me what...
Vanessa then moves her free hand up to a cup of red metal sitting atop Colonel Demeter's suit and pinches it slightly before resting her hand on his heart. At her touch, Colonel Demeter flushes pink and stiffens slightly.
What does this little piece of metal mean?
Well, you see,
Vanessa giggles at the Colonel's uncomfortable nature before removing her hand and slyly taking a sip from the champagne flute as he struggles to form a sentence.
We're getting pretty
Yeah.
spicy.
So the
I'm half chubbed already.
I know, the idea was to slowly lead you in, tease you a little bit with the characters and their interactions together. We didn't just want to go like full nuts to butts, like penetration on the get-go. We wanted to get it there slowly.
I think this is me and Matt now. Okay.
Yes, this
Yeah.
is
Back to it.
LaGuardia and Daniel, so stage direction,
Solved
Andrew.
it, yep. Interior mansion foyer. Troy, the rich son of Shock Rockhard, is seated in an armchair looking disappointingly bored, puffing a thick Cuban cigar. His eyes are hidden by thick shades, his hair is messy, but he exudes a nonchalant attitude of confidence. Standing near to him is his brother, Daniel, who is holding a set of documents in his hand while taking it to the sultry-looking mayor's aide, Samantha.
Yes, definitely.
I think you can tell the mayor that there should be no contention point in the settlement proposed. The suit is looking very healthy and our offices are preparing counteroffers in any case.
Okay, wait, hang on. I'm trying to think of a voice for this.
I believe in you, Daniel.
I've never heard you, before you do this, I've never
Should I
heard you
go-
make any other voice
Should I
besides your
go? Should I go like all set up?
Go high, yeah, go high.
Yeah.
It's
Hang
Samantha.
on, wait. Let me. I don't know how this is gonna come out.
He'll be very happy to hear that, Daniel.
Oh, shit.
The money guaranteed from the settlement will be of great contribution to his re-election campaign.
I am so flustered.
Beautiful.
That was
Of course.
extravagant.
On another note, we have other options for further litigation.
Suddenly, Troy takes the cigar out of his mouth and lowers his glasses so that he can stare directly at his brother.
Who's playing? You can run this one, Train, if you want. I don't think Troy has a whole lot, though, but you can take this one if you'd like.
Oh, come on now, Daniel. Do we have to talk about business all the damn time?
Samantha half giggles before catching herself. She nervously flicks her hair and takes an awkward sip from her champagne flute. Daniel stares sternly at his brother.
If you have no intention of contributing to the family business, Troy, I'd advise you return to your villa in Bel Air, where your gaggle of models can further fluff your ego as you so require.
Troy stands up abruptly and Daniel takes a step back. But before the situation escalates, a trumpet sound is heard. Is it literally one of those little trumpets? That's adorable.
So, we had a really hard time trying to figure out, like, a business meeting that could be a little nefarious. So we went, like, literal business, like, we have options for litigation or some shit.
That's fucking cute.
Okay.
Next scene is shock, and I think that's it.
So this is, like, in the actual grand staircase, like, in the living room, shock rock hard. Well, you can read the stage direction.
Sure. Interior, mansion grand staircase. As the royal trumpets sound, the audience of characters previously introduced all form around the base slowly. They each have a glass of champagne in their hands, and Troy is still puffing on his cigar, and has since raised his glasses back over his eyes. Suddenly, the matriarch and patriarch of the family start to descend the staircase. Ugh. Tootie Rockhard is fitted in a beautiful dress and is wearing a beautiful jewel necklace. Her hand is wrapped around her husband's arm as he leads her down to the midpoint of the staircase. He is wearing an eccentric and royal suit and has a monocle fitted to his left eye.
My friends, it is good to see you all gathered here today for this monumental occasion. I would like to extend my warmest thanks and gratitude to you all for joining me and my dearly beloved here tonight.
He gestures towards his wife, who looks lovingly back at him as he does.
To help celebrate this incredible progress made by our dear friend Dr. Zachariah Good Sensation, we are all enamored by his strides to bring peace and happiness to those suffering from conditions like PTSD. For too long there have not been an easy and effective solution to helping those who suffer in silence. Now, with the completion of the Good Sensation Mark I, we have a viable weapon to combat it. Let us all raise our glasses in celebration.
As everyone raises their glasses to commemorate the monumental occasion, a loud crack is heard as the room's covered in darkness. A loud moan is heard, followed by the sound of a body tumbling down the stairs. The moaning continues, it really is a porn, until it is slowly silenced as the commotion stops. There are other sounds, feet shuffling, gasps, and even a scream. Interior mansion grand staircase. Suddenly, the lights flicker back on to reveal a body at the base of the staircase. A loud scream is heard from Madame Tootie Rockhard. Other screams join in as attendants discover the scene. Everyone rushes over quickly to the body, which is face up at the stairs. Each of the characters are in various states of shock. Madame Tootie falls to her knees at his body and presses her fingers into his neck. As she does, you see a nice shot of her cleavage.
I don't remember writing that. I feel like Jackson.
We did not write that.
that one in.
Who was Tootie?
You're too good.
No, Train can be Tootie
Yeah.
because I don't think Troy has any other lines. So you can rock Tootie here if you want, Train.
No! My God! There's no pulse! How could this have happened?
She rests her head against his chest and wails as all of the surrounding individuals come to the realization that Shock Rockhard has died.
I don't get it. Daddy was fine just a few minutes ago. How could he have died? It doesn't make any sense.
Vanessa throws her head into the colonel's chest and wraps her hands around him as she wails with grief. I can't reach. As this happens, a car door is heard being slammed and all of the characters turn to face the doors to the foyer. Mansion foyer door. The doors are kicked in and they slam violently against the fixtures. Dramatic smoke pours in through the opening as a figure slowly moves through it. He brought smoke bombs to show up to the party.
The idea was when he enters, it's like a WWE entrance with like pyrotechnics going off.
He's prepared. Loud gasps and even a scream are heard from... Why does everyone keep screaming?
Someone has died in the darkness, Matt.
All right. The smoke...
Andrew,
We're horny and scared.
Exactly.
Hold on, is
The
this a
smoke
murder
clears and
mystery or is this a
grizzled
porn?
detective-looking character.
So it's a murder mystery porno.
Mike Mitchell is finally revealed.
More WWE.
That would be...
No need to scream, ladies and gentlemen. I've heard it all before.
Mitchell takes one puff from his cigar before flicking it off to the side. Oh shit, I'm Bonnie.
Yeah.
Wow, it's really Mike Mitchell.
Who's that?
You don't know Mike Mitchell? He's the famed detective who solved the great Salisbury murders in 2004. He's like a really big deal.
Go back to his voice again.
Oh boy.
We should maybe hire real women for this.
Do the narrator for this.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
narrate
go
it
ahead,
to you
Charlie.
afterwards.
Take it. Yeah.
As Bonnie and Ashley quickly take to their phones to try and capture photos of Mike Mitchell, Samantha rolls her eyes and sighs a deep breath. Mike Mitchell pushes past them and discovers the body. Real quick, the reason his name is Mike Mitchell is actually an Easter egg to a friend of ours who played Mike Mitchell in a really old, low-budget film. So we're trying to have his legacy live on in our porno.
I hope he's watching.
I hope he's watching too.
Oh, those are big boots to fill.
Yeah.
Well, there's your problem. You seem to have a dead body situation.
Mike Mitchell cracks a smile and then winks at Bonnie Douglas, who giggles. He then bends down to get a closer look to the dead body. Madame Tootie Rockhard is still face down on Shock Rockhard's chest and is muffling a cry with his shirt. She looks up with tears streaming down her face at Mike Mitchell.
You must be the wife of the deceased. You have my most sincere condolences, madame. But right now, you're in my crime scene.
Crime scene? What? What do you mean?
It's quite simple, really. I could see it immediately. A fall from such a height would not have killed anyone. But the evidence is on his face. A smile. Why? If he had truly died from falling, there would be no smile. No. He was already dead, madame.
He was standing right next to me. And now you're insinuating he was murdered? How could that... It doesn't make sense.
To you and the rest of the rational, murder never makes sense. That's when it is the easiest to get away with.
Tootie Rockhard's face is filled with confusion, but alas, she stands up and walks over to her daughter Vanessa and hugs her for comfort. Mike Mitchell then goes into the corner, or goes in closer to the body to further inspect it. A voiceover of Mike Mitchell is heard as he looks over the corpse.
No signs of distress. No sign of a struggle apart from the one with gravity. A smile on his face. Why? What happiness can be found in death? A minor abrasion on his L4. No doubt from the tumble down the stairs, but from my time in chiropractic school, I know there's no way that was fatal. Though the stairs are made of oak, the strongest wood available on the free market. Why oak?
Mike Mitchell immediately looks up to those now keenly surrounding and observing him. They seem to be awaiting on his every word. Mike notices this and immediately shouts.
Someone fetch me the blueprints for this house right now!
The audience confusedly looks around at each other before Dr. Zachariah Good Sensation scratches his neck nervously.
Yes. Detective Mike Mitchell. Right away.
Dr. Zachariah Good Sensation then rushes away from the crowd, and Detective Mike Mitchell returns his head towards the body of Shock Rockhard. He puts his ear to the deceased man's stomach. The voiceover returns.
His thorax is nearly shattered, and his lips chapped. Circumstantial, possibly, but definitely indicative. But of what? Wait, what's that? I can hear something. Oh wait, no. It's the lack of something, perhaps. I can't hear his kidneys. Stolen?
I don't remember this at all.
Not even a little.
I don't know how I can hear kidneys, but I've got training. No, not nearly enough time for an extraction. Oh wait, there they are. Dear God, what is that smell?
Detective Mike Mitchell then quickly stands up in disgust and covers his nose with his hand. But he screams as he realizes his hand is covered in semen.
Ah, good Lord! It's clear to me now, everyone. This man is not only dead, but he has ejaculated as well.
The crowd gasps in shock, and Tootie Rockhart is heard wailing even louder now. Mike Mitchell inspects his hand and starts to try and shake the cum off. Alessandra, the maid, walks up to Mike and wipes off his hand with a paper towel.
Thanks, hon. Glad you were here to get me out of that sticky situation.
The maid giggles and rushes away to dispose of the paper towel. Mike Mitchell turns to face the crowd. They all stop talking amongst themselves and turn their attention back to Mike to give their entire focus. It took so long to find out a way to set this up. We went through so many stages. We always wanted him to die with cum in his pants, but couldn't figure out how to make it happen. So we went through so many prototypes where it was an open casket with his cock hanging out, and Mike Mitchell had the superpower to touch his cock and feel the past. We had.
Oh yeah, it was all time.
We had.
Dude, I'm liking this. If you guys are down, I'm down to throw down 100K. We can make this into a movie.
I don't
Million each.
Yeah, I don't know if you were here for the beginning, Trey. This was originally a full script we were commissioned to make for a porn company, 4 episodes, but coronavirus had just hit, so they couldn't actually film it. So it was actually going to be a real full porn
I
series.
love that.
First
I love
set of
that scene
feedback
is
was
described
we
of him
need to
touching
bring
the
lines
cock.
down a little bit.
Him touching the cock and being able to tell what happened from the past is absolutely just genius.
We had so many supernatural elements. Another one was Mike Mitchell could see everything that happened in the room that he had sex in. So he had to fuck the characters in order to see what happened in the room, even years into the past. We had an ancient burial ground orgy plot line as well. We had all kinds of different ones.
That's fucking awesome.
It went through so many prototypes. Okay.
Holy fuck, that's good stuff.
So what's
All
the
right,
next
let's go.
move, Detective? If what you say is true, and Daddy was indeed murdered, then one of us is at fault here.
Everyone looks around uncomfortably at each other. Some individuals move apart, and some awkwardly scratch their necks and take calculated sips from their champagne flutes.
Indeed. As you so beautifully illustrated, I fully believe one of you here is a cold-blooded killer. I don't know how the ejaculation fits into the puzzle of death, but I do intend to solve this before the night's concluded. Simply, there is only one thing we can do right now. Vanessa.
Wait, how did you know my name?
Are you even listening? I'm a detective, Vanessa. It's my job. And your job right now, and this goes for everyone, is splitting up and looking for clues. Where's the floor plan I ordered?
I don't know, Mr. Mitchell. Dr. Good Sensation should be back with it by now, surely.
Peculiar. I can't imagine he has gotten lost. Tell me, what was the purpose of this particular extravagant affair?
Suddenly, Samantha LaGuardia, the mayor's aide, pushes through the crowd to the forefront, and shock washes over Detective Mitchell's face as he's flushed with embarrassment. He clearly knows Samantha LaGuardia and didn't notice her before.
I'm switching voices.
It's fine.
Well, if you must know, Shock Rockhard gathered us all here to celebrate the completion of Dr. Good Sensation's new device, of which he and his family company funded.
Detective Mike Mitchell awkwardly looks around and tries to avoid eye contact with LaGuardia and then scratches his neck.
Yes, very good then. If that is the case, I would very much like to talk to Dr. Zachariah then. At any rate, let us split up and look for clues. It's also worth pointing out that if anyone tries to leave before the night is over, I will suspect guilt be the intention.
Detective Mike Mitchell then focuses attention on Tootie Rockhard.
Madame Tootie, I'm not entirely convinced that his shock's cum in his own pants. If you must know my thoughts. A criminal will go to extraordinary lengths to frame one man over another, so he must be sure to rule out all possibilities. I'm personally unfamiliar with this scent and flavor, but you'd know better than most. I'd like you to, and I'm sorry if this is a lot to handle right now, but I'd like you to stay here and confirm beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is indeed Shock C painting his own trousers. on my hands so that we can rule out the possibility of another man's cum.
For the actual porn, can you cast Sean as Mike Mitchell?
You should honestly just be Mike Mitchell in the porno.
This is outstanding stuff.
We tried to...
That's a really good Mike Mitchell voice. I have to.
Absolutely. We tried so many, like, really deep like, taking notes from Death Note, coming up with, like, all kinds of weird possible plot lines to follow. All kinds of, like, mysteries. Tootie Rockhard stares at Mike Mitchell with a shocked look on her face before moving to her husband's corpse and falling back to her knees, placing her hand on his chest. She begins to wail again. Mike Mitchell sighs and then turns his attention back to the crowd.
As for the rest of us, Samantha and I investigate shock study. Daniel and Troy, I believe you are. I'd like to put you both to take the east wing on the second floor. Ashley and Bonnie, you two would be best suited to take the downstairs basement, if you would be so inclined. Vanessa, you can honor your late father by taking his wartime compatriot here to explore the west wing above us. If any of you find Dr. Good Sensation, please direct him to me at the study.
The group all shake their heads and murmur their approval of the plan before they move away in different directions in their groupings. So just real quick, I don't think we explained it here, but the purpose was Dr. Zachariah created a device that gives you, like, euphoria, briefly, to help with ailments, like mental ailments, like anxiety and all that, PTSD. So that's why everyone was gathered. It becomes extremely important towards the end of episode 1. So now
Gotcha.
we're moving downstairs to the basement hallway. Bonnie and Ashley are both walking down an entirely dark basement hallway, with the only light being drawn from candles and Bonnie's cell phone. They're holding hands and Ashley is scared of being in the dark.
Can you believe we get to meet the Mike Mitchell? I've only read stories about him and seen newspaper clippings. Apparently he was fired from the force for sleeping with people on the job. I can see why, though. That man is a certified hunk.
Bonnie, stop being such a slut. You always do this.
Oh, calm down. You know I'm only kidding.
As she says this, she rubs her hand up Ashley's arm before returning it back to where it was. Suddenly her phone dims, however, and she sighs.
Oh, typical. My phone's out of battery. I need to find a charger.
There's a storage room up ahead. We can sneak in there. I don't want to stay out here in the dark any longer without your phone light.
Fine with me.
The girls slink through a door frame which is lit by candlelight as they move into the darkness within. They shut the darkness within. Yeah, I think there's 2 sex scenes. You two fuck, and then it's Zachariah and Thanos. Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think we got 2 here.
I was also going to say we hit 90,000, which is awesome.
That's
Oh, fuck
fucking
yeah.
nutty. Thank you.
10K more than
Congrats.
24 hours.
Didn't want to lose that. We're getting real invested.
I got
here.
real lost in
Yeah.
the fucking
Yeah, I was
Rockstar,
focused
man.
on fucking Matt.
Yeah, good job, everybody.
Yeah.
Way to ruin the immersion.
All right,
Matt.
sorry.
My boner's gone, Matt. Thanks.
Oh my! All right, go on.
So when do we fuck?
So this is, I think we're coming up on the first scene, which is between Ashley and Bonnie. You have a scene coming up afterwards, though, I think on the next couple pages.
Find the light, please. I can't see a thing. I'm so scared.
I'm looking. Give me a second.
Please, hurry up.
Suddenly, the light turns on to reveal Bonnie is standing there almost completely naked. Bonnie! Apart from her bra and her panties. She is standing seductively in front of that. You can see most of the focus went to the story, and then here we're like, she's nude now. We have like
There's
potential.
such abrupt shifts
Yeah.
of like, all right, I guess we got to put sex in here.
Ah, this has to be a porno.
We
I
got
guess.
so lost in like the potential
Yeah.
of different cum being planted
I'm
on
sure
Rockhard's body.
In the calls, it was like, guys, we've been writing the story for 3 hours. Quick, sexy.
Yeah, we need a
Go.
sex scene. She is standing seductively in front of Ashley, presenting herself. Ashley immediately starts blushing and giggling.
Oh my God, Bon, you want to do it right here?
Yeah, why not? It's more exciting than trying to stay quiet up in your bedroom again.
My grandfather just died, Bon. It just feels a little wrong, doesn't it?
Not really. He was the reason we had to stay quiet after all. Feels right to me that we can fuck in that bigot's basement.
This wouldn't purely be because you just saw that hunk upstairs, right?
Of course not, baby. You know I'm only turned on by you.
Bonnie then moves over to Ashley and takes her into her arms and starts passionately making out with her. Ashley begins to moan and enthusiastically gropes Bonnie's breasts. A sex scene occurs. At the culmination of the
scene
Let's have some,
occurs.
well,
Yeah,
this
you
is
guys-
our sex.
Yes, thank you, very nice.
At the culmination of the sex scene, the camera passes through the wall. They're both the camera passes through the wall. They're both pushed up against in the storage room, and through the other side, we see Dr. Zachariah Good Sensation holding a glass to the wall.
So wait. You guys wrote a porno, and the sex scene starts, and you
my.
immediately pan away from
Yeah,
it.
so-
No, because
Wait,
there's not
wait,
dialogue
guys,
in it.
1 second.
Oh, I
Sex
see.
scene.
This-
So it
this
does
is
happen
crazy.
in there.
Yeah, it's a
okay.
thick
Charlie.
What's going on, Strange?
Gotcha.
I just told a story on my own channel like 2 months ago about how my neighbors were having this like loud, crazy sex. And I couldn't tell if someone was dying or if they were having sex. So I actually grabbed a cup from my dresser, I put it up against the wall, and I listened in, and I confirmed it was sex. So it's crazy how my character in here is doing the same thing.
That is,
Dude, you're ready.
That's
Born to
perfect.
play it.
Actual perfect casting. That is what that is.
Yeah.
It really is.
So we didn't write sex. The company was going to do that. We had the option, but we literally didn't know how to write that. Like, what do you do? Like, now the actress licks her butthole and stuff. Like, it's hard to write sex. So we're just giving it to the company to do it, like, on their end to choreograph it. We
The
just
professionals.
we left it to the professionals in that regard. So we set it up and give them like the play-by-play, like on the beats it hits, and then they take it away. Dr. Zachariah Good Sensation awkwardly moves the glass away from the wall and sighs a defeated noise before moving back over to his workbench where the device is sitting. He picks it up and manipulates it in his hands before speaking.
I couldn't even clue into these two being lesbians. How on earth am I meant to be able to understand how to fix this?
He sighs deeply and puts the device back on the workbench. Suddenly, a noise is heard as the bookshelf nearby begins to rotate. He nervously looks up and his face is flushed with fear. As the bookshelf concludes its rotation, the maid falls out and lands on her arms and knees. She looks up at Zachariah and stands up briskly before dusting herself off with her hand.
Oh, I thought I may find you here, Zachariah.
I don't get it, Alessandra. My calculations are never wrong. My whole career is built upon that.
Alessandra slowly moves towards the workbench and puts her hands on the countertop. She stares affectionately at the awkward, disheveled-looking scientist before speaking.
What do you mean? What have you done?
Zachariah begins to shake and cry. He slumps his head over and his crying and shaking gets louder and more indignant. The maid walks around the bench and rests her hand on his shoulder, and her face is plastered with a sympathetic, understanding look.
It's okay, Zachariah. You know me. You can talk to me. After all, we're both born of the same cloth. Just used and abused by the rich and powerful. I understand.
No, it's nothing like that. My machine, it malfunctioned. It fired a concentrated beam of pure pleasure. I'm so sorry, give me a second. No, it's nothing like that. My machine, it malfunctioned. It fired a concentrated beam of pure pleasuronium right at Shock's serotonin receptors. It overloaded his neurons and caused him to ejaculate and die. The human body just wasn't meant to withstand that level of overwhelming pleasure, Alessandra. My machine was meant to bring happiness, but instead, it's only brought pain.
Alessandra moves her hand from Zachariah's shoulder. She looks down uncomfortably and fiddles with the device before putting it back on the desk.
You played with powers no human should have, and now Shock has suffered the consequences of it.
I didn't mean to. It was never the intention. You have to believe me. Damn it! Damn it, this infernal machine!
Zachariah wails out in agony once more, but this time he swipes the device off the table and it smashes on the floor into 1,000 pieces. Alessandra gasps in shock and jumps back, and Zachariah collapses to his knees in acceptance of what he has done. Alessandra now has a sly smile on her face and her cheeks are flushed.
Oh, such power and ferocity. I knew you were a man of passion from the moment I saw you, Zachariah. Why else would you have ever endeavored to create a device for that purpose?
Zachariah looks up at her with a furrow in his brow. He clearly looks confused as to what she has just said. Alessandra moves closer to him again before moving her hand to his shoulder while he is still on the ground.
There, Zachariah. You should know, though, that you don't need a silly little metal device to give someone the pleasure you seek. I can teach you.
What do you mean, Sandra?
Alessandra then moves her fingers to his lips to silence any more noise from escaping. She slowly unbuttons her top, revealing erotic lingerie underneath her maid outfit. Zachariah now has a look of lust in his eyes, but also of deep confusion. Alessandra, however, only has one intention. She lifts up her maid's skirt, revealing she is not wearing any panties.
No.
She pushes Zachariah onto the ground, and then she sits on his face.
We wrote this one out.
Yeah, I do remember this a little bit. Sex scene continues from here. The sex scene concludes with Alessandra chaining Zachariah to a wall and coming. She then gets dressed and leaves while he's asleep. And that's where episode 1 concludes.
Yay!
What a journey! What a journey!
What's gonna happen?
Oh man, the suspense.
That was great.
I remember, so Pleasuronium becomes a much bigger player.
Yeah.
It's an element we created, obviously.
No.
Oh, is it? I wasn't sure.
It's not real science yet, but yeah. It was a big evolving plot where everyone has a role, much like Knives Out. You never know, like maybe Zachariah is not the bad guy. Maybe he is. Maybe no one's innocent.
Oh.
Kind of like Murder on the Orient Express. We tried to incorporate all of like the best elements of murder mysteries into the porno,
Why
and
didn't
then
we
we
just call it Dicks Out instead of Knives Out?
well, Cox
Yeah.
Out. Cox Out is
Cox
another
Out.
one we talked about, but yeah, that's where it ends for now.
Sean and Train killed
You
this.
Sean and
guys
Train crushed it.
pitched this, and the
Thank
company was
you.
like, "Oh, is this your new porn?" You guys were like, "Porn."
Huh? And that's when we went back and in the 2 spots wrote sexy.
Sex. We need sex here.
Yes, sorry.
No, it was the writing.
Great.
The writing was just so good and immersive that I was
Agreed.
I was lost in
Agreed.
the sauce.
Well, I'm glad.
I still want to write this. Like,
Sorry.
dude, I'm telling you, I can
People in those headphones.
I can go deep into this like 50 Shades of Grey type writing. Like, I can give you just really good sex scenes. Like, I already like.
You're more than welcome to, Trainer. By all means, if you want to like throw anything together, you can write it out and toss it to me on Discord, big man.
Okay, I'll look over the script and I'll write something for each little sex scene.
That sounds good to me. Well, we have to paint our asses now, boys, but I really do appreciate you both stopping in.
Yeah, no problem.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
All right, yeah, of course. And thanks again. Great work.
No problem. Good
Thanks,
luck with the
guys.
rest of your donations.
Hey, thank you,
Yep.
Sean, and thank you, Train.
Love you guys. Bye.
Yep.
Bye.
Well, that was fucking great.
That was wonderful.
The script was even better than I remembered it being.
Yeah, that was
Also,
so
we raised $11,000 during that script.
Yeah, we are at almost $92,000, everybody.
That's fucking
That's-
That
nutty.
is insane.
I'm sweating so much now.
It's
It's so
take
hot.
2 minutes. In
Yeah,
this
I
room.
pumped the air back there, so if you need to cool down, you just walk in
I'll
for a
come.
second.
I'll come hang out with.
Yeah,
those
just give me 2
guys.
seconds.
I hope you guys enjoyed that. Yeah. It took us like a month of writing.
Well, yeah, yeah. It went through a lot of
Went through
phases.
so many like.
I don't think so.
It took so many iterations because we kept like having to rewrite it because the dialogue was too long, and they were like, we can't put porn in. Like, there's no room for sex because the dialogue is too long.